Television. I am Mbasiti Jesse. Here are the headlines. President Muhammadu Buhari urges army to remain neutral. Gunmen storm Sokoto village, kill 3 policemen, 3 others. Plus, 3 die as bomb explodes in Thailand. As Nigeria prepares for the 2023 general elections, President Muhammadu Buhari has urged the Nigerian army to remain neutral and professional in their conduct before and during the elections. Buhari stated this at International Conference Center, Kasara, in Sokoto State, while declaring the 2022 Chief of Army Staff Conference open. He commended the doggedness of the Nigerian army for returning peace not only to the northeastern part of the country, but the entire country. He expressed confidence that the renewed vigor and standard injected in operations, as well as collective resolve and improved civil-military relations, will engender lasting peace and stability in the country. As the heads of the Nigerian Army gather in Sokoto for the 2022 Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference, suspected gunmen stormed Yarabulutu village in Sabon Birni local government area of the state, killing 6 people, including 3 policemen. A source within the local government who spoke with newsmen confirmed that the gunmen suspected to be bandits stormed Yarabulutu village market, killing 3 traders, 3 policemen, and also setting their vehicles on fire. The source, who was an eyewitness to the unfortunate incident, said the gunmen came on bikes and opened fire on traders in the weekly market, making people to flee, scampering for their lives. It was gathered that the policemen in a nearby checkpoint rushed to the scene and engaged the gunmen, which resulted in the killing of 3 of them and setting ablaze their 2 operational vehicles. The Minister of Defense, Major General Bashir Magashi, has said the President, Muhammadu Buhari, has approved plans to reform the military healthcare system. He added that a consulting firm had been hired to recommend how this could be achieved. Speaking at the Defense Health Maintenance Limited stakeholders meeting in Abuja, Magashi lamented that the military healthcare system had lost shape, saying only a reform could help revamp the armed forces medical system. He was represented by the Permanent Secretary, the Ministry of Defense, Ibrahim Kana. He added that with the reforms, the number of interns would be increased, adding that there would also be massive recruitment into the healthcare system. The indigenous people of Biafra have told the residents of Southeast that it did not order any 5-day sit-at-home order in the region. The group therefore asked the people to ignore the order, describing it as a senseless order from those against the Biafra agenda. This is following a video currently circulating online ordering the people of the Southeast to observe a sit-at-home on December the 9th to the 14th, 2022. But in a statement by IPOB's Media and Publicity Secretary, Ima Powerful, the group said it never issued any sit-at-home order on the days mentioned above. The Interfaith Dialogue Forum for Peace, IDFP, has called on stakeholders in the electoral process, including citizens, to ensure peaceful, credible, and transparent elections in 2023. This is contained in a communique read and issued by Sani Kunle, co-chairman in Abuja, by the forum after its 2-day sensitization and capacity strengthening workshop for religious leaders, civil society organizations, and policymakers towards a peaceful general election. The forum also called for effective collaboration among critical stakeholders before, during, and after the elections with regard to planning, deployment, voter education, monitoring, and information sharing.
The workshop aimed to increase collaborations between policymakers, security, CSOs, and religious leaders in promoting non-violent electoral processes towards achieving peaceful elections and stable democracy in Nigeria. The workshop focused on 6 key themes. A, violent conflict landmines and peace landmarks in 2023 general election in Nigeria. B, peaceful conduct of the elections, the role of security agencies. C, voting procedures, electoral offenses, and penalties.
They urge security agencies to collaborate with other stakeholders in communities for intelligence gathering to strengthen rapid response mechanism and avoid breakdown of law and order. Youth in the country have been warned to desist from destroying property of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) across the nation. President of the Princeton Leadership Forum, Dr. Chibuike Ekem, made the call at a news conference ahead of its leadership summit in Abuja. He described election period as a time to elect leaders and not a time for war and destruction.
With the situation that is going on today in our country as regards the destructions of INEC properties and the violence relating to the electoral process, it is important that we understand as young people in this country that this country belongs to us. The process of electioneering is for us to be able to elect credible leaders that have capacity and empathy to be able to govern us as a people. So I want to really discourage the idea of young people going to destroy properties of the federal government. At the end of the day, we are wasting resources because those things have to be put in place to be able to deliver a credible election.
He urged the youth to elect leaders because of their leadership qualities and track records. When News Live returns, the Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, has said the Nigerian Correctional Service is becoming digitized as a command and control room is now established at the national headquarters, while effective surveillance is mounted in the custodial centers to monitor the activities in some selected centers. Details of this and more come to you after the break.
No matter what the news is, we got you covered.
We are here to ensure you are informed about what's coming your way.
Expecting that maybe government will do something.
This is the place to find out because it is your voice and your news.
Viewer Television News, giving you your voice.
Welcome back. If you were just joining us, this is News Live. A recap of our top stories. President Muhammadu Buhari urges army to remain neutral. Gunmen storm Sokoto village, kill 3 policemen, 3 others. Plus, 3 die as bomb explodes in Thailand. The Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, has said the Nigerian Correctional Service is becoming digitalized as a command and control room is now established at the national headquarters, while effective surveillance is mounted in the custodial centers to monitor the activities in some selected centers. Aregbesola stated this in his speech at the inauguration of Service Operational Vehicles, Junior Staff Quarters, Information and Communications Technology Command and Control Rooms, unveiling of new uniform for staff of the NCOs, and presentation of award to selected staff for gallantry. He also said with this new development, inmates would be monitored without any violation of their rights. The Kano State Hisba Board has intercepted a vehicle loaded with over 18,000 bottles of assorted beer in Gwarzo local government area of the state. The Commander General of the board, Sheikh Haruna Sina, made the disclosure to newsmen in Kano on Tuesday. According to him, the truck containing the beer was intercepted at Gwarzo Road on its way to Kano on Monday. The Commander General noted that the law establishing the Kano State Hisba Board prohibits the sale and consumption of beer and other intoxicants. He said the agency had also intensified campaigns and advocacy visits to enlighten the public about the dangers of engaging in immoral activities. The Northeast Development Commission has said it needs 31 trillion naira to accomplish 10-year sustainable projects in the region. This was disclosed at a media parley and tour of projects with chief executives of media outfits across the country in Maiduguri. The managing director of the Northeast Development Commission, Mohammed Al-Khali, while showcasing the commission's completed and ongoing projects, said that its new Northeast Stabilization and Development Master Plan will actualize the mission of post-insurgency interventions in education, ICT, health, roads, agriculture, among others. The Commission also appealed to media organizations to project its achievements to the public and help curb the spread of fake news.
1 trillion naira. We know it's a humongous amount of money, and we don't want to even go and tell the federal government that give us all this money, which they don't have. But out of this 31 trillion, 80% we are planning to get it from the PPP, donor agencies, and other actors across the world. In fact, when we are all ready stabilized, we may even consider doing a donor conference for that particular situation. Because at this now we have all the figures and statistics of what needs to be done. I told you we have 529 projects and something. And when we display all those items, some people will take A, some will take B, donors can just do it. So it's a multifaceted approach.
So our advice to them is to ensure that the media is at the heart of the operations of the NEDC so that the people are better informed on the reasons for the establishment of these development agencies and for the people to actually feel the reasons for the establishment of these development agencies so that it doesn't become an agency on paper and people are not seeing their output.
Nigeria's Minister of Water Resources, Suleiman Adamu, has confirmed that the ministry rehabilitated 15 dams from 2016 to date. Speaking at the President Muhammadu Buhari presentation of scorecard in the water sector in Abuja, Adamu, who said that water sector infrastructure in the country is predicated on 4 main components, identified the components as dams, subsector, water supply, subsector, irrigation, and sanitation.
Schools and health facilities are dismal. We have also created a new program now. We are concluding talks with Ministry of Health and Ministry of Education. In the first quarter of next year, we're going to launch the school wash and health wash programs for schools and for health institutions in the country. We'll start, of course, with supporting federal institutions, but we're going to be working with the private sector on things like adopt the toilet and anything that the private sector and foundations can do to support, complement the efforts of government, because government resources alone will not do the work.
Speaking on infrastructure development from 2016 to 2022, he identified the number as the federal government intervention, urging states to do their quota in order to achieve the sustainable development goal of water for all. The task force of the Federal Capital Territory Administration resumed its clampdown at the Wuse Zone 4 area of Abuja. The task force extended its raid to some red light zones within the Central Business District, burning down places suspected to be illicit and illegal drug colonies. The FCT Director of Monitoring, Inspection and Enforcement, Ata Ikaro, explained that the task force would have no choice but to continue to make arrests if the operators refuse to work within the provisions of the law. Ikaro, who noted that the FCT Minister, Malam Mohammed Bello, wanted residents to succeed at their various businesses and enterprises, explained that reports from the Intelligence Unit of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission worried the authorities, and added that if they did not obey the law, relevant forces might have to be engaged to ensure the sanitizing of the industry. The National Human Rights Commission, NHRC, in collaboration with the UN office in Nigeria, launched a call center short code 6472 at the 75th anniversary campaign on Universal Declaration of Human Rights and other activities to commemorate the day. At a press briefing to commemorate the 2022 event, the Executive Secretary of the Commission, Tony Ojukwu, explained that the short call center short code will provide an easy access to the Commission for complaints on human rights violations.
I no longer say that you have no transport money to go to a physical place to be able to bring your complaints on human rights violation. All you need is a phone, and you call this 6472, and there will be somebody to take your complaints. And in that way, the real implications of the protection of human rights provided for us by the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 1948 will be brought to all peoples, all nations, all individuals, right in their bedrooms.
In his opening statement, the United National Resident and Humanitarian Coordinator, Matthias Skmali, expressed worry that 20 million out-of-school children still exist in Nigeria.
This is about each individual citizen, and declarations have to come to life. We worked together with, and I thank my colleagues in the United Nations Development Program, as well as our partner, the European Union, for making this happen as part of the Spotlight Initiative. I made a reference earlier to we are in 16 days of activism against violence against women and girls. So I think this is really a beautiful illustration, relevant illustration of how to make the Universal Declaration come to life.
You're still watching News Live on Viewer Television. Business, international, and entertainment news come to you right after the break. Do stay tuned. Now in business news, the value of naira to dollar fell from 196.92 naira in June 2015 to 414 naira 72 kobo in June 2022, worsening Nigeria's foreign debt burden. Within the 7 years under review, the naira depreciated by 52.52% against the US dollar. The monthly average exchange rate of the naira, that's naira per unit of foreign currency, for 2015 document obtained from the website of the Central Bank of Nigeria shows that the $1 was 196 naira 92 kobo for interbank foreign exchange market. The exchange rate for $1 as of June 30th, 2022 was 414 naira 72 kobo, according to the figure provided by the CBN. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has signed 5 memoranda of understanding with the national oil companies and relevant entities of 5 African countries on the Nigeria-Morocco gas pipeline project. The 5 national oil companies and relevant entities were from Gambia, Ghana, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, and Sierra Leone. Speaking at the event, Kyari commended NNPC's partners, ONHYM, who had worked with the NNPC Limited all through the years to bring the Nigerian-Morocco gas pipeline project to limelight. Kyari said it was comforting to witness the steady growth of the project, especially with the inclusion of NNPC's counterparts and key institutions from other African countries through execution of the relevant memoranda of understanding. The federal government has set a total of 3.24 million buildings in 3,937 settlements have been mapped and currently connected to the country's power grid. It disclosed this in Abuja at the 5th National Council on Power, which had the theme Sustaining and Improving Electricity Supply Through the Power Sector Value Chain for Socio-Economic Growth. The Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Power, Temitope Fashedebi, revealed this while outlining some of the recent milestones achieved by the FMP. She, however, decried the persistent bottlenecks dragging the required growth of the sector, identifying some of them as inadequate gas supply, transmission right-of-way issues, and vandalism, and poor maintenance of distribution system. Amid tight security on the Abuja-Kaduna rail corridor, there was very low passenger turnout on Monday. Newsmen had reported that upon resumption of the train operations, there were heavily armed security personnel at Idu train station. A passenger and former Dean Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, National Open University Abuja, Prof. Ganiat Additional Othman, said she had an awesome experience traveling to Kaduna with the train, noting that she enjoyed the fully air-conditioned coaches. She also confirmed that security officers paraded the moving train. She said passengers had to scan barcodes on the ticket machines before being allowed to board. Three people died and 4 others were wounded after a bomb exploded on a roadside in Thailand's troubled deep south, police said on Tuesday. The 7 state railway employees were on their way to fix a section of track in Songkhla province near the Malaysian border, which had been damaged in another bomb attack on Saturday. The latest bomb was hidden around 200 meters from the site of the earlier explosion. A low-level conflict has simmered in Thailand's south since 2004, killing more than 7,000 people as rebels in the Muslim-majority region battle for greater autonomy from the state. EU leaders arrive in Tirana, the capital of Albania, for the 2022 EU Western Balkans Summit. Among those greeted by Albania's Prime Minister Edi Rama are French President Emmanuel Macron, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, and Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban. Images also show the arrivals of Finnish Prime Minister Sanna Marin and Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte. This is the first ever summit between EU and Western Balkan leaders to take place in the Western Balkan region. The summit is an opportunity to reconfirm the key importance of strategic partnership between the EU and the Western Balkans, a region with a clear EU perspective. Ashy smoke billows and lava flows from Mount Stromboli in Italy after a 4.6 magnitude tremor on Sunday caused by the Sciarra del Fuoco section of the volcano that broke off and slammed into the sea, triggering a tsunami wave off the volcanic island. The wave, which was about 1.5 meters high, did not reach the coast. According to the Civil Protection Services, no damage was reported. The eruption caused part of the crater to collapse. The rock detached from the ridge and plummeted into the sea below, triggering a small tsunami off the Aeolian island. The tidal wave reportedly measured 1.5 meters high, although alarm sirens were sounded. Chile's snow-capped Villarrica volcano has been shaken by earthquakes and is belching fire, placing authorities on alert for a possible eruption in a picturesque area beloved by tourists. Since October, the 2,847-meter high Villarrica has been the site of gas explosions and seismic events, with pillars of fire up to 220 meters high shooting out of its lava lake. Alvaro Amigo, the head of the National Volcanic Surveillance Network, said the volcano was dangerous because its eruptions often cause perilous volcanic rock and mud flows, and because it has a large population and infrastructure around it. And now in entertainment, the socialite who was charged with 3 counts of intermeddling with the family estate, forgery and stealing was found guilty of illegally transferring ownership of the Toyota Land Cruiser. Her lover, Kumar, was said to have died in April 2021 at the age of 61. Kumar's family filed a complaint with the police after it was discovered that Shea Diva had taken the vehicle. Shea Diva Africa has been sentenced to a 4-year in prison after she stole a car from her lover. Actress Kirstie Alley, who is best known for her role in the comedy series Cheers in the 1980s and 90s, is dead. According to a family statement, Alley died of cancer at the age of 71. Alley won an Emmy Award and a Golden Globe for her role as a pub manager and waitress on the popular TV series. The cancer-born star also appeared in the Look Who's Talking film series and the TV sitcom Veronica's Closet. The family statement did not specify what cancer she had, but said it was only recently discovered. Tonya Lawani was pregnant for Obasehide Legushi months ago. His silence since the birth of the new princess has left some tongues wagging. Those sources confirmed that the king had visited the U.S. to see the new daughter. According to sources, that Tonya Lawani safely delivered a baby girl a few weeks back in the United States, and both the mom and the new baby are doing very well. One of the proofs of Afrobeat growth is a recent video that was seen online of a stadium packed with fans in Qatar singing and vibing to Rema's song, Calm Down. Undoubtedly, Afrobeats is now a music genre that has been recognized globally, and Nigerian artists have been putting the country name on the world map. Recall the Qatar 2022 FIFA World Cup kick-started on November the 20th, 2022, and will come to an end on December the 18th, 2022. As at the moment of feeling this content, countries participating in the World Cup are already at the knockout stage, while some are already back to their various countries following their elimination from the group stages. And that's all on News Live. But before we go, a recap of the headlines. President Muhammadu Buhari urges army to remain neutral. Gunmen stormed Sokoto village, killed 3 policemen and 3 others. Plus, 3 die as bomb explodes in Thailand. Many thanks for watching. I am Ambassador Jessie. Please stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our programs.